I had a pretty distinct list of plans of things I was going to do with my day today. Doing a trailer reaction was not one of them. But studios don't care about my schedule. So we have the first trailer for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I don't really have a lot to say before I watch this. I don't have a ton of expectation around it. I might have had more if Iron Fist wasn't so bad and it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth in terms of the idea of a martial arts focused MCU product. Now, to be completely fair, none of the people involved in Iron Fist were involved in this so far as I am aware. So, that is not entirely fair, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that it dampened the enthusiasm that I had for this product on its general premise. Now, I still like to think I'm open-minded and am up for trying to roll with whatever they show me in the trailer. And so, hey, let's take a look at that. Yeah, that's what I figured that was.
I gave you 10 years to live your life. And where did that get you?
Huh.
You walked in my shadow. I trained you. So the most dangerous people in the world.
Big focus on legacy.
Son, it's time for you to take your place by my side. You better watch out, 'cause it's my time. That's not going to happen.
I wish they weren't cutting these shots so much.
You can't outrun who you really are.
That was nice. I dug that.
Who are you?
Hold on,
everybody! We make a good team.
Was that Aquafina? I think it was. If it's not, I might have to cut that because then it looks really bad on me if I mistook one Asian actress for another. But anyways, it's true to what a teaser is. It is putting forth what are thought to be the major selling points of this. So that's going to be the action, the fight scenes, the choreography, and that sort of general vibe to it. Not a lot of sense of story yet. As I mentioned, there is definitely going to be some kind of legacy thing going on. I think, without having looked into it, and I'm sure if I'm wrong, I'll be immediately corrected by people in the comments who always catch this because the amount of research I do on these things is limited. Does that make me bad at this job? I don't know. Maybe. But I think the guy who seemed to be implied to be his father might be the real Mandarin. Definitely placing him behind the Ten Rings would imply that. But we'll see. I'll be curious because I remember it coming up that this was going to deal with the real Mandarin. I'll be curious to see if they tackle what happened with Iron Man 3 in anything more substantive than basically a tossed off line of yeah, no, that was all BS. Yeah, which, it was by design, but basically saying, yeah, they yanked this thing that is real and appropriated it. And honestly, you get some decent commentary out of that, given that a white American businessman appropriated the title and the symbols of a powerful non-white person and then hired a British guy to pretend to be that person. If they wanted to get some commentary out of that, you could do it. Doesn't mean they will. But anyways, I mentioned being a little bit annoyed at how many cuts there were in the action scenes. Now, I should stress that is in this trailer, because this is where what I want out of this kind of film kind of clashes against the way trailers are currently put together. Because trailers are less about, especially early Marvel teaser types, are less about giving you anything real substantive to chew on, as opposed to giving you a lot of little flashes of things like, ooh, this and this and this and this and this, which lends itself to rapid cutting. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that as a trailer. It leaves you with more of a general vibe of a thing. And it's effective at that. But the problem with something like this is what I like, what I want out of this kind of film, out of a martial arts story, particularly when it comes to the action, I want long, unbroken, uncut fight sequences. Because that, to me, is what I should be getting. Because whenever you show me a fist fight, especially if it's a martial arts based fight, that is rapid cut, it takes me out of it immediately. And maybe part of this has to do with the fact that I have some background in martial arts. I don't want to oversell that. I really don't. But, I do have some. I have enough of a background that, for instance, it bugs the ever-loving hell out of me that 3 seasons into Cobra Kai, they're all still white belts. I'm sorry, what? Anyways, that's a tangent. That was something I forgot to mention in my last review of Cobra Kai, but every single time they cut to the dojo and they're all in white belts, I'm like, why? Anyways, but there are certain things that are at least what appeals to me about a really good martial arts film, and knowing that the fights are, well, real's the wrong word, but are done as a continuous thing, and that I get to watch it as a continuous thing, as opposed to something that is put together in the edit. I mean, that was one of the big disappointments with Iron Fist. I mean, there were lots of things wrong with Iron Fist. This wasn't the only one. But that was on the list of problems with that, because all the fights were in dark. They were either in slow motion to cover up the fact that their lead actor couldn't actually fight very well, and they had to cover for the fact that he was not fast. So they just made everybody look slow. Or they were doing rapid cuts to stitch together, make him look faster than he was. And if you do this right, if you cast people who can do this physicality, whether or not they, strictly speaking, have actual martial arts training, as long as they are able to do the speed and the physicality required to get this fight choreography up to speed and not have to cut it to ribbons in order to stitch it together, that's what I want. And I don't have that from this teaser. Now, again, the fact that that's not in this teaser does not mean it's not in the film. It just means that I cannot yet confirm that one of the major things that I would want out of a film like this is, in fact, in the film. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I have no more information on that particular aspect of the film than I did before watching the teaser. The vibe I get off Shang-Chi himself, off the lead, is pretty good. I like the idea that he's sort of tried to build his own life, and that his legacy is something that is possibly like a weight, a burden, but not necessarily in that I have to live up to... Well, here's what I'm hoping. I'm definitely getting the sense that his father, Mandarin or not, whoever he is, that his father definitely feels that what he's been doing with his life is not worth. It is a waste of his time and talents. What I really hope is that the film doesn't share that perspective. Now, I suspect his father's going to be shown as in the wrong for how hard he bashes on that, but what I want the film to do is to basically take Shang-Chi's side and be like, look, this is the life he chose, and it is as valid as anything else. And then for him to, get pulled into the other stuff is something that he has to do. He can't just walk away from it. But I don't want the film to frame him. It looked like he was DJing at one point or doing valet parking. If he's happy with his life, I don't want the film to shame him for that. I don't want the character to at some point go, I've been wasting my life. I really don't want to see that happen. And I'm getting a vibe off of the actor that is enough of a kind of, all right, fine, if I have to do this, I have to do this, kind of reluctance that I'm hoping that's the direction they'll go. But again, I don't know. We'll see. But that's kind of all I've got right now to say on the first teaser for Shang-Chi. I'll probably do a reaction whenever they drop another one, because I expect next trailer, full trailer, because this was teaser. The distinctions are very arbitrary at that point. Yeah, at this point. Can we acknowledge that real quick? But I expect that will give us more of a look into the story and be less concerned with giving us tiny glimpses of as much stuff as possible to make it look big and epic. And also that maybe when we get a full trailer, maybe we'll get at least one longer unbroken shot. Because like the one that I really liked, where the two guys jumped up, kicked, like it was only like 2 seconds, but just the fact that they didn't cut at any point in that shot, I was like, okay, see that's what I need a lot more of, or for a much longer stretch in one shot. And then I will start getting excited. Right now, I'm just kind of, okay. I'm right now no more intrigued or excited for this than I was before. Which is not to say not at all. It's just that let's see what you got. And that's kind of still where I'm at. But what did you think of this teaser? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Like, share, subscribe. I have a Patreon. Link in the description. I've given up trying to put it up there. YouTube sucks. But in any case, if you are able to help me out there are rewards for every tier, including getting your name in the credits and a Patreon exclusive Discord server, which I am also on and participate in. But even if you're not able to do that, the like, share, subscribes also help me out. But no pressure on that either. Take a relaxed attitude around here, so just come on back next time you need a break.